Well, hello, and welcome to Stop, Let's Team Up, my Legion Adventure, episode 74, and we're going to be covering Action Comics 382 and 383. It is the era of the Action Comic Legion backup series. So let's get started. Let's get right into the grand comic book database information on Action Comics 382. It was published, it was published on September 30th, 1969. Wow, almost to the day, because we're recording this on the 29th of September, 2023. It is a wonderful Kurtz von Murphy Anderson, Gaspar Saladino cover. My brother owned this. I don't know if I've ever read it, because I don't remember the Legion, and I didn't read the Superman, because I'm only reading the Legion. But it's good. Editor Mort Weisinger, assistant editor Nelson Bridwell. Very cool. The Superman stuff has been reprinted several times. The title of the Superman story, if you want to know, is Clark Kent, Magician. It's a wonderful cover. But the Legion story we will be covering is Kill a Friend to Save a World, a 10.7 page story, script by Jim Shooter. Pencils, Jim Shooter, layouts only, Win Mortimer, inker Jack Abel, colorist unknown, letterer Milton Snapin. This has been reprinted in 5 times in Superman Super Comic 131, which is an Australian comic book, and it was published circa 1970. In Superboy, it's a Scandinavian flag, and I don't know which one it is, number 6. Legion of Superheroes Archives, Volume 9, 1999, which is what I have. Showcase presents Legion of Superheroes number 4 from 2010, and the Legion of Superheroes, the Silver Age Omnibus number 3, August 2020. The roll call is Karate Kid, Ultra Boy, Shrinking Violet, Timberwolf, Light Lass, Superboy cameo, Mon-El cameo. The synopsis, the amazing, to-the-point synopsis of the Grand Comic Book Database is: the Legion undercover and dismantle a protection racket inadvertently powered by 2 of their own. Succinct and to the point. There's some other information I'm going to pull from the trusty Illustrated Legion of Superheroes comic book index. I'm almost at the end of using this, but it has been fun. It is revealed in this issue that Karate Kid is now the Legion leader and Mon-El is his deputy. So, let's go through this comic book real quick. It starts out good. I kind of like it. You have Ultra Boy. He's no longer the Legion leader. He's walking through the Mez shopping district, and a robot jumps out and challenges him to fight, beats him, and sends him to the hospital. And you find that that a businessman named Kazvar is trying to sell these super robots to replace the Legion on all the planets, but it's all for a monetary capitalistic thing. And he doesn't blackmail, but he lets the Legion know that, you can't touch me. So Karate Kid starts an undercover operation. They have a new customer, the Amazonia Lake. Or Karina Walters is flying over their thing, Amazonia Lake. I thought that was her name for a second. Duh. But she comes in, and Kosvar explains that how he's stealing the energy of Superboy and Mon-El to power his robots, and then you find out that Shrinking Violet is hidden aboard the woman's ship. Timberwolf is disguised as a laborer, and Karate Kid is walking across the polluted surface in a spacesuit. And as Zakazar tries to sell Miss Winters on his stuff, his female companion, or his partner, starts to uncover things by accident. Timberwolf's cover's almost blown, so he has to fight Karate Kid. Kosvar put some unwanted moves on Miss Winters. Very tacky, Mr. Kosvar. And then when he is confronted by his partner, they find out that Miss Winter is actually Light Lass. And in a lover's tiff, the Kosvar's partner hits a button and blows up their house. Okay, I like. It sounds weird. It sounds disconjointed. It sounds a little just choppy. It's because it is. When I read it, I kind of liked it. I mean, it was a little bit of the silly. I'm gonna, I'll replace the Legion. It's almost like this could have been done during the early Autobender, um, you know, John Forte era plots. But I really liked it, and I liked that they went undercover. And then when it got to be this really bad romance comic, where he's making his partner jealous, it's absolutely, it just goes off the rails. I can't even imagine a 12 or 13-year-old, maybe a 10 or 11-year-old would think this is what adults do in a romantic thing, and it just becomes really disconcerting. It just really goes off the rails, and it does not read well in 2023, and I don't think I've ever read it before. I really, honest to God, I think this is one I've missed, and I'm rediscovering, and it lost me. It started good, and it lost me. But that's, it was written in 1969 by, middle-aged guys writing for teenagers. Or, no, that's not true. Jim Shooter wrote it. He was a teenager. That's probably why he does not understand. Okay, he's probably a 16-year-old. Of course, that makes sense. That the whole romance angle of this is a 16-year-old's point of view. Makes sense. It just lost me. Sorry. So let's get on to Action Comics 383. All right. So Action Comics 383 was published on October 30th, 1969, a few days after my 5th birthday. It has another wonderful Kurt Swan, Murphy Anderson cover. Superman is being threatened by empty superhero suits that are glowing. Again, Mort Weisinger was the editor. E. Nelson Bridwell, assistant editor. It's a Cary Bates, Kurt Swan, George Russo's comic. It's called The Killer Costume. It has been reprinted several ways. There is Legion of Superheroes called Chameleon Boy's Secret Identity. It is written by E. Nelson Bridwell. Oh, wow. That makes sense. Pencils Jim Mortimer. Inker Jack Abel. Legion roll call is Chameleon Boy, Princess Projecta, Karate Kid. Chameleon, and the synopsis. This is overwordy for it's almost 3 sentences. It's actually 3 sentences. The longest comic book database synopsis in a while. I like that. Chameleon Boy escorts Princess Projecta to a party and meets her friend Janice. Since Janice is repelled by Chameleon Boy's appearance, he disguises himself as Dane to get to know her. But when one of her jewels goes missing, Dane becomes a suspect. And this comic was reprinted in all of the same things before. Superman Super Comic, the Archive, the Showcase, and the Omnibus. It was not reprinted in the Scandinavian comic. The character of Janice Warren, little note, resembles Princess Elwinda, the girl Chameleon Boy met in Action Comics 376. This is my favorite part of the story, that they touch back on this, because these folks, I don't remember ever reading them, so this is first time with me. So I like that they brought up. It wasn't just it happened, but it never came. I don't remember it ever coming back up in the eras where I was reading Legion regularly. So it's nice to see it come back. And I actually like this one. I like this one a little bit better than the last one. But let me see if there are any other crazy notes in. Well, no, nothing crazy. No weird trivia other than that. Well, it starts with the Tales of Legion splash page, and it has Projecta has to go to this function on her home planet, or go to this royal reception, and since Val, because he's leader, is too busy to go with his girlfriend, Chameleon Boy goes, and he sees that she looks like Eldwina, and the young woman Janice pulls out her jewel, and it's a jewel from Karmath, and it reacts to the sun. Chameleon Boy turns himself into an umbrella, stretches his body into the shape of an umbrella to protect him and Projecta. They go away. He turns himself into a bird, and he eavesdrops on the 2 girls. This does not pass the Bechdel test because the 2 women are talking about a man. But they're talking about it, and she says how repulsed, he thinks Chameleon Boy's probably very sweet, and she's grateful, but he's kind of gross because he could turn into an umbrella. So that's when he creates the persona of Dane. And they have a little comic book romance. You know, it takes 2 pages. There's a guy working on a robot who works, so we know there's other people in the building. Then the crime is committed, and it looks like Dane has been framed. So Chameleon Boy does what he does best. He detects with the help of projector, running interference so he can do it. And they discover it's the repairman who's done it. And then Dane pops out. But Chameleon Boy turns himself into a replica of Janice. Then an Octoman defeats the bad guys. And then Janice gives him a big hug and a kiss and a thank you. And I like you because you look like me. I actually liked it a lot more than the last one. It's you know, it is what it is. It's the silly little mystery, you know, oh, people are different, so I'm going to change to get someone doesn't like me because I'm different, so I'm going to make myself like them, which is the worst thing to do. Story, and then, oh, I should have always liked you just the way you were. It was like a after school special, but it wasn't that bad. The art, I'm less taken out of the story with Mortimer and Abel as I've gotten used to it. I think what has helped is I'm starting to kind of really enjoy the short little mini adventures. Nothing big and epic. There's stuff about the characters. Chameleon Boy meets a girl. Some of the soap opera part of what I like in later Legion, I'm seeing the beginning of it now. Is Bridwell and Shooter doing more with the couples and trying to give people have characters have friends outside the Legion, have a connection to the outside world. I like that. And a lot of times superhero team books, it's just a bunch of people in spandex sitting around a meeting table going, woe is me, woe is me. And I like that. One part about Legion I like is that there's this thing about relationships, that they have relationships. They have friendships. They have lovers. I like this one. It is a 1969 comic, but I think it read well, and I'm entertained. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this volume. All of the Action comic is in this archive, and when I go to 9, it will be the Superboy, the backup in Superboy era, and I'm looking forward to that. So I had a lot of fun. All right, folks, that's it for this week. This is dropping on a Saturday, the day I record it, because work is busy and stuff's going on. So I'm just going to drop this on Saturday, and I'm going to drop something tomorrow on Sunday. So I'm sorry it's late. I hope you enjoy it. And as always, folks, be smart, be safe, be kind to one another in this weird, wacky world, and read some comics.